All right, guys, welcome to episode 35 of DM Podcast. Welcome. Listen, it's a Philip and Belter today, right? So me, Mick and Mark, we're talking about different stories, taxi-related stories. I told the story of when an Uber driver kidnapped my wife, and that's a true story, by the way. Make sure you sit back and listen to that one. We talked about EV cars, electric. How much range does a general taxi driver need day to day to make it work? We talked about owning an EV car, diesel and stuff like that. We talked about general chit chat of car ownership, the impact of license changes on drivers. We talked about out of town drivers, Wolverhampton, and the other bits and bobs. You know what I mean? Just talking about general taxi and Uber related content. It's a good little podcast. Make sure you enjoy it. Like, follow, subscribe. You know the score. I'm trying to promote the Instagram at Driver Matty, so go follow that if you haven't already, and definitely check out drivermatty.com. Bye, guys. See you soon. Roll the intro. It was a bit of a funny story, and while we're talking about Uber passengers, I wanted to go into something else. So I got a story I put on DM News, and it's about these passengers, right? And they got an Uber from a pub or a club, yeah? And they were going on. The full details on DM News, you can do the full details. I'm going to do a full video on it as well, it'll be funny. But to summarise, the Uber broke down on Formby Bypass, Mick, by the way. It's just like an expressway, yeah? Pulled down, popped tyre. And he was going to let them out on the expressway, this driver. And the passengers went, no, mate, pull into Mackey's and whatever. So we pulled to Mackey's and the driver's like, go on, mate, you crack on and go and get another driver. And they're like, no, just change. We'll wait. Take us home. Just you change the wheel. To the driver, to pass, and the driver went, I don't know how. I don't know how to change the wheel. Not even messing. The two drunk passengers, right, got out the car and changed the Uber driver's wheel for them, right? They all got back in the car, and then the Uber driver dropped them off at home. They both were. He woke up, right, with like an extra 20, 30 quid on top of the charge, right? Because the Uber driver never completed the job, and they added an hour's waiting time onto the job fare. So the Uber passengers woke up after fixing the fella's tyre and helping him get home. They actually charged him an hour, waiting hour, for doing the process. And I thought it was dead funny, and I put the story on and everything else. But what the reason I'm bringing this up is, and then you've got like a funny passenger story of you being in a passenger, like as a driver done something mad to you, or has anything happened, you know what I mean? Because that story, like that cracked me up, that. And it was just mad how they got charged after them drunkenly helped him change his tyre. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I have as a passenger. I don't think.
I've got
What?
a funny-ish story. I don't know whether it's internetable though.
It's not going to be funny, is it?
What we can do is, like, what we'll do is we'll put a pin in that one, Mick, just in case. And we'll talk about that and see if we can bring that up next time. Because that sounded scatty.
I think I've told you about it. But it's whether it depends how. I know a lot of people won't see it. It just depends how the internet sees it.
Yeah, and I get you. No, we'll maybe different one. Mark, have you got a passenger one as a passenger? No?
Now, no,
So
now.
What? No?
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you, I had a weird one, and I want to let you how you react then. So I was on the way home, not too far, about 8 miles from the house, and we're heading home, and I said to the driver, can you pull in a couple of bottles of water? We're staying in a hotel. So yeah, sound. So I had that as a stop for them, and everything was spot on. Pulled into a garage, I walked into the water, I turned around, walked out, and the car was gone, with my wife still in the car. Right? And I just thought, wow, what's going on? My wife was bevy. So she must have been paranoid. The fella couldn't speak much English. He weren't the best in English. Very limited on the English, right? I walked outside and I turned around and she was gone. And I kind of panicked a little bit, looked around the corner. He drove around the back of the garage to fill his tyres full of air, right? So I ran round. I went, what are you doing, mate? He was like, tyres. So yeah, jumping in the back of the car. I went to the wife and, you all right? She went, honest to God, I crapped myself. She literally just drove off, didn't say nothing to me, and just drove around the back of the garage and left me in the shop. And I got in the car. I'm not even messing, right? We sat there for 10 minutes as he went over all four tyres with the oxygen, with the air. He weren't like doing a puncher. He was literally checking the tyres. And we sat there, and I went, honest to God, we were bevied. And he got in the car after about 10 minutes, and he's like, thank you, tyres, like that. And I went, mate, what are you doing? I went, A, you can't kidnap my wife, and B, you can't do all 4 tyres with passengers. That's weird. Like, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, tyres, thank you. And then drove us off. But, like, how weird's that? Literally 10 minutes, as he literally more or less done an MOT on his car with us in the car. I was honest to God, I was blown away, mate. I was blown away by it. I was just so shocked. Honestly. Yeah, tyres. It was so funny.
Imagine walking out of the shop and your car's gone with your wife. That's like a film, that, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
Natty spent the next hour and a half hunting him.
Billion things went through my head as soon as the car was gone. Billion things went through my head. And luckily, I kind of ran out, like, like in the movies. Where are I? Like that. And then I looked, and flipping there like that with the tyre pressure thing. My wife was great in the back seat like that. In the back seat, just like absolutely panicked. Obviously, she's babying and I thinking, what is going on? This fella's driving off with her without me. But let's just go through the comments, a few popping through. But yeah, honest to God, guys, it was so funny. That's one of my good little Uber passenger stories there. I
mean, I've stopped for diesel with passengers, but I've asked them first.
What have you done?
I've stopped for diesel with passengers.
Oh, yeah. But that's me. Hey, on the way to the airport, this mate's got to nip in again. 5 minutes, get them diesel.
Yeah, I've asked them if they're in the rush and things like.
Have you ever kidnapped someone's wife to do your air pressures in your old 4 tyres?
No, I've kidnapped a baby.
Huh?
What?
I didn't realise there were a baby in car.
Mate, continue, please. We need to know.
Nah, she got it. She got in. She had like, what do you call it? Papooses, whatever they're called. Where she has the baby strapped to her there. So she got in.
Kangaroo pouch.
So she got in, and then she says, she said something to me. Pulling over, she needed to post a letter in a letterbox. So I've pulled up, and I've realised when she's got out, I've parked in like the bit where I shouldn't have parked. So I kept on going. So she got out, she was walking, and I drove off to go into like a lay-by bit. Literally, it was only about 30 yards up road. She didn't post a letter. She come running after me.
Oh, mate.
She went, I thought you were leaving me. I went, no. She goes, my baby's in. I turned around. She left baby on the back seat asleep.
Fresh, you were the passenger. Who leaves a baby killed on the back seat? Oh, lad, that's heavy. That's worse than my flipping wife kidnapped there, because my wife would have filled him in if he got out of hand. That's bad. That's how you kidnapped the baby. Right, that's it. Go on the council. Uber's not as cheap as you guys make out. Medivet on Eaton Road to Taham Crescent, L11. That's close. 14 quid and 9.15 this morning. Yeah, mate, that's just a surge, that. But generally, mate, outside the dead busy areas, it is very cheap. Liam, one of our members, asking, have you got your Nero yet? Liam, Monday. He's back on Monday. Hash, another member, hello, mate. Matty, why is your sub-only chat on TikTok? Just so people come over on YouTube, mate, so we don't have multiple chats going. I had a rider ask me to do his tie for him. That's a weird one. Takes time, money in, the whole new level in this game. Telling you, mate, who do you work for? Never mind, just seeing out for what you average per day. We've talked about averages of money, and that we're not going to go into this one, but it's as much as little as you can try and work.
I've been propositioned by a gay lad.
What?
I've been propositioned by a gay lad.
Yeah. Have you? Did you say yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's why Nick's changed.
Yeah. I was wondering. You know what? He was walking funny last weekend. So.
Do you know where everyone says, "Oh, you must you'd always hear people say,
the offer the hour."
Yeah, you must get a lot of offers for the fair and all that.
How much was the fair?
As much as we know, it doesn't happen, but I've had it happen with me from a gay lad.
So how much did you knock off him? How much did you knock off the fair for him? What?
£5.
Charged them an extra £5 for the cheap.
No way. Look at Umar to have a Matty. I'm just going to put some electric in my Tesla. Right, listen. I've actually done that before. Once in the whole 2 years of having an EV car. And what it was, I was out working all day. and I was helping out another driver, and it was a delayed flight, and like they needed me to, and I was near the airport, but I've already been working, and the customer's already been landed. So I said to the operator, send me the passenger's details straight away, because there's a big job up to Blackpool. And I phoned up the passenger before he even head there to pick them up. I went, listen, any EV car, we'd have to stop 20 minutes or halfway up. I'll buy you a coffee and that. But otherwise, I'll have to try and find you another driver. And they were happy with it. And also, I've done it once, on the London job. But the passenger already knew before I picked him up. It was one of my bookings. And I messaged him, well, listen, mate, I went, I can get a diesel. Or it was in their low emission zones. I went, I can get a diesel, I can come in my car. But we'll have to stop halfway back on the way. And I'll get you a coffee now. And he's like, no, I need a burst. He'll be bevied. I need a burst. So, yeah, it does happen. But, yeah, it's easy in the diesels, little 5 minutes. But, yeah, to ask someone to stop 20 minutes, you've got to really plan ahead. Especially in my car, it's not very long range. It's I need when I'm looking again an EV car, hopefully at the end of the year, I'm switching them. I'm definitely going to go for a longer range car. I think I was a little bit naive when I thought that 220 mile would be enough. It's not. You need over 300, I reckon, in this trade. What do you know what though, guys? I know Mick, we mentioned EV, angry, but that's a good comment. Hey, like, what would you say? I know it's personal and it depends on what you do. Mark does like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Do you know what I mean? And Mick, similar to me, just does cherry picks to work, but whatever's best for the situation. But what would you say would be a viable EV car range that would suit you per day? So for me, I would say 300 would be my perfect, suit me 95% of me day. What would you be, Mark, on your typical day-to-day driving? Not like your crazy one-off, back-to-back Heathrow's one. I'm on about just your day-to-day average.
Right. Like for today, I'll probably say a minimum of 400 mile.
Wow. So you need a minimum 4.
Yeah, I've always said if there were a vehicle out there that I could get that could guarantee me 500 mile on a charge.
Yeah.
I'd have one.
Yet, but yeah.
I'd have one.
I think you need to half that, Mark. Because at the end of the day, if you've done 200 miles in your car sitting there, you're going to need to stop anyway.
No, but don't forget, Mark sometimes does like a lot of back-to-backs and stuff, doesn't he? Where he won't have enough time to be honest, though, you have waiting time at the airport where you can top up that, couldn't you?
I do. In the summer, not so much. In the morning. Because I go out about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I tend to get to the airport. When I'm picking up, that's when they're landing, if you know what I mean. So by the time I drop them off, I'm getting messages from the customer. I'm ready. So I'm like driving in, driving straight back out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where the EV would screw you then.
There are occasions where I've dropped off at 7 o'clock, say 7:30, and the other landing's not till about 9 o'clock. So then I could go and have a charge. But I would refuse. That's the reason why I want a 500 mile is because I don't want to go and charge somewhere and pay money. If I'm going to start paying money, I'd rather keep to a diesel or a hybrid.
So that's what I was going to say to you with Mick. If you can plan your day, I used a rapid charger, but the Tesla's a bit cheaper. But like last time I used a rapid charger was probably beginning or middle of December. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got it mastered now. I'm all right. I'd rather come home and top up during the day on the home charger. But yeah, I would say for general, not as crazy as you, Mark, which you do a lot of miles. So generally, I reckon I'm with Mick. I reckon about 300. I reckon would be a good amount because once you hit 300, you need a break anyway. You need a little top up, but you want to maximise your night tariff because that's where it's cheap. If you're just using the rapid charges, it's dead expensive. Do you know what I mean? But what do you say about 250, 300 Mick for you? Would that be your daily miles?
I'd be happy with, I reckon, 250.
Would be enough for you?
Yeah, as long as you're getting 250 out of it. So you're looking at some range telling you 300, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. 300, 320 will get you about 250, 260, depending on the weather. So I reckon it'll be sound. Like a long range Model Y or a long range Model 3, I think will do. Do you know what I mean? Mine's just not enough. I'm literally bordering just like.
I just think. I know a lot of councils, well, London, that lot, especially with the black cabs. It's all electric in it now. But I just think if you can home charge and you're just doing the local taxis and you're happy just to pod around electric all day long, because you need to maximise your profits, and you might pay a little bit more if you're renting or paying for an electric car. You might pay a little bit more a month, but over time, like what's your weekly £5 a week charge?
Yeah, it depends. So it depends how many miles I do. If I do 1,000 mile and it's all home charge, it's 20 quid.
Or £20. So 1,000 miles in a diesel, what would you say? 150 quid? 200?
Yeah.
So you're saving yourself, you're saving yourself 130, between 130 and 180 a week on fuel.
Yeah.
That adds up.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
£7,000 a year?
Yeah, but no servicing as well.
Yeah.
So, like, how much is your servicing? 200 quid every 2 months.
Yeah, it's just
Do you know
coming
what I
up.
mean?
I've
There's less to
only
go
had it
wrong
2
and stuff.
months. It's due.
Yeah. So when I actually done the math, I had the diesel. I remember the old diesel Skoda I had. It was brilliant. I loved it. But it was like I can't remember the age it was. But it was a brown Skoda Superb. I loved it. It was a diesel and everything else, right? The finance on it was only like 180 quid a month. It was dead cheap. And then they had the diesel and everything else. And I can more or less tell you, I'm probably either doing less savings, spending less per month, or similar in the Tesla. Because my
Yeah.
Tesla's dead high finance and high insurance, but the rest of it is kind of saved it. Do you know what I mean? So it's flipped on itself. But that's where, obviously, because I'm doing so many miles. Do you know what I mean? If you're in a normal person doing 100 mile a week, 200 mile a week, then you won't get that massive saving.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So
No.
then
Yeah.
it's more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's very, very personal. But what I want to add in the thingy is, would you stay in that Tesla, Matty? 1 second, we just fixed TikTok. Natalie, guys, it's half the subs on TikTok. Sorry, I didn't even realise anyone was going to sub. I've just come over to TikTok and there's people's commented. Sorry, guys. Thank you very much for the comments on TikTok. But yeah, sorry, with the Tesla, I'm actually considering getting another Model S. I really am. I know. And I've never, ever, ever bought the same car. And I'm really considering sticking with the Model S for getting a bigger battery. So mine's a 2008 Model S, right? So I've got panel gaps. The build quality is not the best. It's on the older tech charging. It's on the old electric motors that are dead inefficient and it can cause problems. From 2019, Mark, the Model S has got the similar tech to the Model 3. The more efficient and better reliable electric motors, the more efficient batteries, better build quality. Tesla's learned and got better build. And the 2019 to 2020 Model S's are a hell of a lot better than the older ones. So it's up there. I don't know what I'm doing yet.
I thought you were swaying more to the Y.
Well, I was going to say to you, I'm actually going to test drive a Y at the weekend. So keep an eye on the content, guys. Check out obviously YouTube and TikTok and on my Instagram, Driver Matty. But I'm going to go and test drive a Model Y, the Y, for the weekend. Because the only thing that puts me off with the Y, there's one thing that puts me off, and it's the ride. And I've heard the ride's rough, and I don't want to be doing airport work and stuff in a bumpy ride.
By rough? Well, the suspension's hard.
Yeah. Weight of the car and the suspension's dead tough on the Teslas. Where in the Model S and the Model X, it has air suspension. So it's a lot softer for an EV car. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm up the wall.
Would you never go down the Mercedes route?
I was going to say my front runners for my next car would be a Tesla Model S, a Tesla Model X, but the doors scare me. A Tesla Model Y, but the ride height puts me off. And the EQS, but the price puts me off. But the EQS has got a massive boot and does everything luxury, but it's non-Tesla. And me being not in a Tesla scares me. Because I like the Tesla service, I like how Tesla works, I like the rapid charges. Every time I've had a problem with rapid charging, it's been outside the Tesla network. And Mercedes, obviously, don't have their own network. So that's what keeps putting me off and putting me back to Tesla. Do you know what I mean? Let me just go for the comments then quick. KC, I dropped the family off at Lime Street station and drive off with all the luggage. Luckily, I realised when I got to the top of Lord Nelson Street that no trains were missed. Mate, that's a flipping new leg there with this. That's funny, that. Imagine work, that's because you must... Imagine getting out your taxi, turning around and you're bailing with all your luggage. Oh, mate, imagine probably concentrating on your passengers. I work on my Skoda Superb. I always work on my own car, save money, the job's done properly if you do it properly. Yeah, Umar, but not everyone can do that, mate.
No.
Honest to God. if I hold the screwdriver, it's normally facing in towards me and I stab myself. I just can't. I'm not very mechanically minded at all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, get the Falcon Wings for the content. I know, honestly, the bum like that. Mate, I'm just happy just to clear my finance, mate. So whatever my outstanding finance is, I'll probably just try and get it for that. Get a Nissan Leaf. Oh, telling you. Toyota Yaris wouldn't fit in one. Let me go to TikTok. There's a couple of people joining the subscription. I didn't even realise. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's Natalie as well. Hello, Natalie. And Newcastle Taxi Man. I'm out now. Come out at 6, trying to get 150 a day. Nice one. I work at the office, have my own operating license so people can phone me for work. Brilliant, Newcastle. Natalie, I needed to say this. Sorry, Natalie. Drivers should definitely be charged from an office point of view. Natalie, good point. No, good point. At least I know now next time I've got a few TikTok live people that subscribed that I'll be able to keep the comments live for anyone who comments on TikTok. Apologies, I didn't think anyone would join. So sorry I missed. I hope you're still in the chat, Natalie, because I know you've commented quite a lot on TikTok. So that's my bad. That next time I will be keeping the chat open. Apologies.
Bad Matthew.
No,
What? Sorry.
Just saying, bad Matthew.
it's not bad.
No.
Ignoring your
No,
TikTok.
I mean, hey, someone just joined on the sub, Mick, and I missed a comment because I had the chat closed.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that you turn it off.
No, I mean, I'll be comments up next time. I mean.
Oh, you'll have your comments up
Yeah.
there.
Sorry, I had the comments minimised, so I missed a message. Do you know what I mean? So she signed up to the subscribe, which cost money, and I didn't even read the comments. That's why I feel bad on that. But next time I have the comments open, guys. Sorry.
You've got it.
What?
You didn't miss it. You've got it.
Yeah, but late. Tap the follows and likes on TikTok, by the way. They opened the Tesla network to other cars now, haven't it, Murph? That is true, mate, but it costs £10 a month, right? And I don't use the rapid charges, nowhere near as much to offer £10 a month. And also, it's only limited Tesla charges, mate. And the one I use, which is in between Liverpool and Manchester, isn't on the network. But also, Liverpool is opening up their own Tesla showroom on Edge Lane, which will have their own rapid charges, which I can't wait for. Go on,
Back to
Mark.
that question, right? It says that open Teslas to other cars. Do you have to pay as a Tesla owner? Do you still get charged the £10?
No.
Oh, only for other. No, just only for other people that have got different cars.
I think as well. I might be wrong, but I get good charge rates anyway, and it's free for me plugging in, charging me accounts. Now, AZ in our group, who goes up and down the world in his EV e-Nero, he's signed up to it because he loves the Tesla supercharger network in his Kia. But he says he pays £10 a month, but I don't know if he pays a little bit more on the rate as well. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so they have opened it for others, mate, but it's not as much. Got a message from Mark. How are you finding the Corolla, Mark? 2 months in. Are you missing the Merc?
No, not missing the Merc. No, I'm enjoying it. The only downside, I've mentioned it before in another podcast, it's just a little bit too small at back. But other than that, no. I like the savings of...
Happy. It drives smooth as well, doesn't it?
I
think it drives dead smoothly. You know, the hybrid system.
Nice to drive. And
saying it's too small.
As in, you know, when you...
It is small.
When you're sat back, the length's all right. It's the width. It's quite narrow. So if us three sat in back, I guarantee we'd be like that. Because I'm slim, so I'd have to sit in middle, and there'd be you two strapping lads walking around as though you got cut. It'd be like that.
I hope you didn't knock over your mug from DM Shop, mate.
No, it's all right. It's still here.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I was worried then. Because obviously otherwise I would have got the water bottle. It's a lot more solid.
I do need one because I've got this.
Yeah, DM Shop, guys. DM Shop. Let me go for the comments then, quick. Would a Toyota Prius Plus be any good for having 6 new Uber, please? Mate, I actually had a Prius Plus, mate, on as settle, and it's actually a not bad car, mate. The only problem is with the seats up in the boot, there's no boot, so it would work for family 6 and Uber XL and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Matty, there's a new fella who's opened a YouTube channel. I won't say his name. He's got a Wolverhampton badge and a Wolverhampton operator license, and he lives in Liverpool. Yeah, I know who he is. Who has a bus? He's taking bookings in Liverpool. Is this allowed? Yes, because of the cross-border hiring. He's got his own ops license, but it's the same as the grey area thing, isn't it?
You can only. He's basically going to be a one-man band. Saying that, there's enough Wolverhampton plates around, so
He'll
probably.
be able to get people underneath him. Wolverhampton drivers now. Do you know what I mean? He could be the hub of Liverpool in Wolverhampton. But yeah, that's the only thing, mate. He's actually got the Wolverhampton badge. And then he's actually gone to the council. And he's probably, with Wolverhampton, I think you're allowed a PO box or like a fake office note, I think. So he just got one of them in Wolverhampton. And then he's registered as an operator down there. But he lives and works in Liverpool. The only thing that might change, still a lot of people are hitting me with the Andy Berman kind of kicking out of town drivers out of Manchester. And if that happens in this year or next year, they're all going to come to Liverpool, and then Liverpool is going to kick them all out. Because if Manchester kicks them out of Manchester, we will be inundated with Wolverhampton, Manchester Sefton lads, and Manchester Knowsley lads.
I think we'll follow suit within a week.
They change it
Within a week. We are going to get an extra 50,000 drivers in Liverpool.
No, but I reckon if Andy Berman does it, Liverpool will do it.
They'll have to, mate.
And
but we still have a problem though, because I think there's about 15 or 20,000 drivers in Manchester plated for Knowsley and Sefton. They'd have to come back to Liverpool because that's the only place. Obviously, to get kicked out of Manchester, that's the only place you can work. So them ones will have to come back. But then the Wolverhampton who gets kicked out of Manchester would have to come to Liverpool for then Liverpool to kick out the Wolverhampton. It'll cause murder, mate.
I think that's why Mark's right, and it won't happen.
I don't think it'll happen.
I don't reckon it'll happen. You can't. It's illegal. So you're literally ending 50, 60,000 people's careers in one chain. They can't do it. The only way they can do it is if they do it on a time lapse. No more licensed drivers going forward, and you have 4 years, 5 years to change your badge to a local badge. They'll have to do something like that. They can't just go tomorrow.
I've got another one for you then. So you're saying probably 20,000 Liverpool residents that are on Wolverhampton, yeah? So
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, probably more.
Probably more, right? So if you do that then, so if it's like a time lapse thing, so they turn around and say, look, you can't do it anymore, and then people have got 3, 4, 5 years to do it, that won't happen either because the Liverpool Council will probably just turn around and say, we're not accepting any more applicants because we don't want it to be inundated. So then people, so if they give them, so if there's 20,000 already on the thing, they'll probably say we can have 5,000. There's 15,000 people there now that won't be able to do it.
You can't restrict private hire. It's one of the legalisations of the law.
There could be, so in the end, there could be 1 million private hire drivers, taxi drivers in Liverpool, and there's only 100,000 passengers.
Yeah, they can't stop it. That's why taxis and hackneys are restricted. Private hire isn't. I'm pretty sure if you go to Sefton Council and they're inundated and there's 1 billion drivers in Bootle and you go to Sefton Council and want my badge, Sefton Council's got to give you the badge. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'm sure they can turn around and say we're not taking any more applicants.
No. Private hire's always been restricted. Part of private hire.
But as long as you're placed on a waiting list, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what. No, don't be wrong. If there's that much demand, you can have a 6-month list or an 8-month list or a 10-month list. If you can't say no.
Yeah, they put you. Yeah, but that's the way around it, isn't it? You go on a waiting list and then
the waiting list will never come down.
Hey, reduce the staff to 2 people and make sure like they're dead slow, to process the badges. Do you know what I mean? And there's a list, like 5-year list.
That's happening now, isn't it?
Yeah, flip down, didn't speak. Yeah, no worries, Mohammed. Murph, that mean you won't be able to pick up from Manny Airport? I don't know, mate. I don't know how far it would go. Because Manchester would still be a legal booking for us as an operator, wouldn't it? But I think it just means it kicks out the Uber type of. I don't know how it works, mate.
The only way you can change it, and we've said it before on the podcast as well, is anyone, you can only be licensed with the council that you live within.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
the
I've
only
said
way
that.
they can change it. And then on your next renewal, you must go with the council that you're
Or have an
living under.
application in for
That's
it.
the only way it can be done. It's the only way it can be done.
Yeah. Or
But Chris-
have an application in for it.
Chris has just put guaranteed whatever Andy Berman does, Steve Rodman will follow 100%. Probably, mate. But Murph's just put, you're not ending the career. They'll just have to change badges or work their badge areas. The council aren't going to stop new signers. Mate, Murph, they can't do it as in like next week because you can't send 120,000 Wolverhampton drivers to work Wolverhampton. You are ending the career. There's like 3 to 4 Wolverhampton cars per street in Wolverhampton. It's a very small city. You can't send them all back to Wolverhampton because then you end in their careers, and then it's illegally not moral, is it? So they'd have to do it on a staggered basis or on a time basis. Do you know what I mean? So if you live in Manchester and you're Wolverhampton, they'd have to go. Listen, you got a year, 2 years, 3 years to apply for Manchester or a local badge, while you're obviously still Wolverhampton, and come over because in 3 years' time, Wolverhampton will not be allowed to work. It'll be like that. It'll be like that. Do you know what I mean? But regarding the Liverpool not being able to pick up a Manchester airport, I think that's different because we don't need a PCO license to pick up a Heathrow because we're coming back to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it'll be if the job's starting in your area or finishing in your area, it should be still allowed. Do you know what I mean? Because we're allowed to go and pick up a Manchester airport and come back, but I don't think we should be allowed to be able to drive to Manchester empty and work and drive in Manchester and drive home empty.
That's what I'm going to say to you. You've just said that then, right? So it's either where it starts or where it finishes, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Daphne's.
So how comes Uber's
not like
different?
Daphne's, sorry.
How comes Uber's different?
Because Uber's because once you've got an operator, you can work and accept a job anywhere.
But I can't pick up from Uber. I can't pick up from Manchester. If I did a private,
That's Uber's. That's Uber's region preference. That's Uber's
Right.
region. That's their personal way of
Choice.
doing it. Do you know what I mean? They've done that from a company perspective. They decided to put Wolverhampton with Liverpool and Manchester, and we don't obviously flipping stupid. That's the thing that's killed Uber for the Northwest because of that. They merged them three in together. And that's why we're overrun, and that's why Uber outside the Northwest hasn't been touched by Wolverhampton, which is still a little bit busier and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Uber's choice. The regions.
That's what
It's not licensed. Do you know what I mean? Operators can restrict stuff from an operator's
I don't
standpoint.
understand Uber's perspective with it. They should have a Midlands region, shouldn't they?
They did have. Mick.
That's what I know they did, but why? It's mind-boggling.
I reckon what happened was we were originally in a Liverpool, Manchester. Well, originally Uber was like Bolt, you could work all over the world, right? And then what happened is I think the PCO in London kicked them out of London, right? And then what they've done is they split the regions up in the UK, okay? And then what they've done is we used to be Liverpool, Manchester shared, so we always had that issue. Liverpool, Manchester was shared always, right? And then what happened was, I think when Wolverhampton started throwing the badges out, flying out, loads of badges, they had nowhere to go. Birmingham was overrun, Wolverhampton was overrun, the Midlands was overrun. So they merged the Midlands with the Northwest. And that's what happened. And that's why the Wolverhampton can work in Blackpool, can work in blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Never heard of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, in the Wolves newsletter that's just been released, it said out-of-town drivers isn't going nowhere at this moment in time. I know, but that's the thing. Wolverhampton know exactly what they're doing, and they are rinsing it. Wolverhampton's probably got the most lucrative income from a taxi licensing standpoint across the whole of the UK, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Wolverhampton is in Bristol and Bath too. It is, mate, but it won't be for an Uber. It'll be on Bolt and other local companies. Same as Wolverhampton will be in Sheffield on Bolt and local companies. There's Wolverhampton in the northeast, but not on Uber, just on Bolt and local companies. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean, Harry?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Oh my god, an hour and 15 minutes. We're flying in. Mick's tired. Mick, you okay, Mick? You keeping up?
No, I'm all right.
Sleepy, Mick?
You just do it to make me angry, don't you?
You don't want to see an angry Mick.
No. Look, watch, ready? So when I've just looked at Mick, this is Mick.
If you must know, I was looking down and cleaning my nails. No problem.
On stream, you flipping creature.
Yeah, well, you can't see. You just highlighted it to make it worse.
Secondly, you highlighted it. I just made fun of it.
Well, I have to answer you.
Look, he's horrible again, Mark. We got grumpy Mick
You
back.
started it.
He was argumentative Mick at the start of the stream. Do you know what I mean? Remember we nearly fell out over the Mackies? Oh, what you have for Mackies, Mick? What you think of it?
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Hey, what you have, Mackie? What you think you had? The only thing you get from Mackies. I'm like, no, mate, there's loads of items you can get. No, double sausage and McMuffin.
All right, I said I'd give you it. Calm down.
Laddie, green screen's fallen, I think.
No, it's me lad.
Let's go for the comments and then we'll end it there anyway. Or we'll end the podcast anyway. Tell them to move for the PO. Wolverhampton, Bristol, Bath, always, mate. I would go with Manchester, but their vehicle rules are crap. No tints, stickers. Uma, honestly, but I don't fault drivers going to Wolverhampton. I'm not against that at all, because if there's a cheaper, better option, then why not go for it? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy that obviously that you've got that. Didn't realise Bolt was still a thing. Yeah, mate, UK-wide, just not Liverpool. Recently applied for Wolves badge for part-time work. Absolute nightmare. Well, are you sure? Because you used to be able to get it within half an hour, 45 minutes. So what's changed now, AK? Is it harder?
I bet there's a waiting list.
Do you reckon there's a wait list now? Love your content. So. I love you for watching. Thank you, AK. What are you saying, Mark?
No, I just think there's a bit of a waiting list now, isn't there? For
There's gotta be, honestly. Honestly, I'm not even messing. I literally know to go to the Mars rover. It's Wolverhampton Blizzard. Sort of heard. I'm a great fan.
What?
The Mars rover is Wolverhampton plated.
All right. That weren't very fun. It went straight over my head, that.
Well, hard, is it? Short stuff.
2 months.
2 months. Oh, dear. So even the Wolverhampton with the 170 workforce churning badges out has got a 2-month wait. That is mad, isn't it? Sefton used to have a 6-month wait because they had 2 members of staff doing the badges and the renewals and stuff. Sefton Council. And that's when I applied years ago. Wolverhampton, like last time I seen Wolverhampton, there's like a staff of 150 processing and stuff. Crazy, mate. It's like an enterprise, isn't it? Literally, Wolverhampton Council's created this taxi licensing enterprise, mate. You know what I mean? I reckon they'll be challenging Amazon soon. £1 billion company.